Krista White, the winner of Cycle 14 of America's Next Top Model. She's here for Austin Fashion Week, and we are so excited to have her here with us. Thank you so much for coming in. This is already a special week for us, and just having you here, it just tops it off.
Thanks for having me. I'm very excited.
Well, before Cycle 14, have you auditioned for the show before?
Yes, I auditioned every year.
Are you serious?
Yes, let me tell you.
Girl, that's determination.
Yes.
Okay, so actually, once you made it on the show, what were your expectations as far as how far you would progress in the show?
Getting on the show, I never thought that I would win it. Never. I could give you a reason for everybody to win that cycle except myself.
Oh my God.
There's like, give me a reason for her. I can give you a reason for everybody. And then he's like, why do you think you should win? I'm like, I don't think I would win. I never put myself in that situation. I just wanted to go far.
Right.
You know, I was just trying to survive each elimination because you never know who was going to go. You never know what they're looking for. Each cycle, the winner is always something different about her. It's something that they like or something that they dislike. So, you know, you never know. So I was just trying to get through the eliminations. So I never thought I would win it. Never.
I kind of feel like you flew under the radar for a long
time.
And then here you come along and win like the last four picture, best picture. And you kind of came out of nowhere. And then all of a sudden it was just down to the two of you.
Right.
So how did you think that would all play out? Because you have much more what they call kind of like international look, and she had more of a cover girl look. How did you think in those last months how it would happen?
I think for me, from the beginning, I was thinking, you know, I went into the situation and I had really no expectations, and I was thinking I was just going to soak everything up like a sponge. So in the beginning, I think I flew under the radar a lot because I was doing like, if someone gave me a critique, I would just do that. And then somebody told me this, I would just do that. And it didn't work because it wasn't me. It wasn't myself. So I had to mentally get it down where it's like, okay, I'm going to take their critiques and then put a little of myself in it. And then it started working for me. So I knew I had to do me, but with a little spin of what they were teaching me on. I had to make it work for me, not just do what they say. So once I got that niche, I just ran with it, and I kept doing it. I was like, oh, okay, the whole time I just need to do me and then just listen to what they're telling me and make it work for me instead of just doing totally what they're saying because, I mean, it's just their opinion. So I did that totally the way in, right down to the final two, and it's me and Rain, and I was standing up there, and I was like, there's no way I'm going to win this over her. You know, she's one of those people you walk up to, and she's absolutely gorgeous. She was my secret winner, and people didn't know that. Like, when I saw her in casting, I was like, oh, she's winning this cycle. Definitely, hands down. She was my person, my pick for that. And me standing up there next to her, and I always knew that she was going to be in the top two, but I never thought I would be there with her. So standing there, I'm like, oh, I picked her to win, so I know she's going to win. So for me to stand next to her and they announced my name, I just flipped out. Like, I was crying all over the place. And Tara was like, why are you looking at your picture? And I'm like, I can't believe it's me.
I heard a little rumor that actually after you won the show, you went back to your job in retail.
I did actually. Right after I won the show, we actually wrapped up in December. So we filmed it November and December. So the end of December we wrapped. And I went home for probably like one day, and then the next day I went straight back to work. So you go back into your regular lives until the story airs, until the characters on the show, until we're revealed and all that. So when that came out, everybody's like, oh, it's you. And they're like, oh, you didn't win because you're back at work. And I'm like, oh, okay. You know, so I stayed at work until my last 2 episodes, and then I flew to Arkansas to do a little publicity there because I hadn't been home the whole time I was on the show. And, you know, I represented my hometown, so to do a little publicity there, so it was awesome. And then for everybody to see me win, and then they went back to my store, and it was like, where is she? Where is she? And it's like, she's gone. She went on, you know.
You're smart. So, you know, being America's Next Top Model obviously opens not only just being a model, but it opens a lot of doors. It allows you to be a spokesperson and do all kinds of different things. What kind of aspect out of all this are you looking forward to doing most?
For me, I think I just want to look more into being a role model and breaking down barriers for African American women in the fashion industry, because we only represent about 5% or less of the fashion industry. So out of 100%, we're about 5%. So to a lot of the fashion shows that they have in New York, it's always 1 or 2 African American women walking on the runway, and majority of the time it's the ones that's already named, the Jordan Dunns, the Chanel.
So does it make that even harder?
It's definitely harder, and with me having this title, America's Next Top Model, it helps me a little bit, but not really, because I come off the show and it gives me the contract and all those kind of things. But I come off the show and I have to be a regular model like everyone else. I get up, I go, I have to build a book and go to practice photos where they build your book and put the photos in there, and I go to castings like everyone else. I don't just automatically, people call and say I want her. No, I have to get up and work like everyone else, and that's the part that people don't recognize about
people
it.
think when you automatically win, it's glamorous instant fame, but there's really a lot of hard work and personal determination that if you really want to live up to your title, you have to
work. And
get
people
up
think
and do
you
it.
just after the show you're from here to I'm America's Next Top Model and I'm over everyone. No, I'm a regular model. I'm a Wilhelmina model like everyone else on their roster. I'm a new face, so I have to try just as hard to get up there with Chanel Iman and Jordan Dunn and Cecily Lopez. So I'm working to get there. I'm not there yet. So.
Right. What do you have planned for this next year?
For this next year, I'm working with CoverGirl, so I'm getting together my appearances, and I just finished signing that contract with them just now. So I'm building up my CoverGirl experience, and I've already went on like 2 CoverGirl things where I had to go out and talk about the product and stuff like that. So yeah, and I'm working on my book of Wilhelmina now, and we're getting ready for Fashion Week, so I'm really going to be extremely busy for the month of September for Fashion Week, so I'm excited.